questions and online participations to my classes. So first of all, maybe it is later, maybe 1 or 2 months, right? Because I started later, because not yet I inform about your course guidelines, something like that. So maybe all of students, if you are that if you are in time, and maybe possible within 2 or 3 months we can complete our course. So all of you guys must be in quite regular in my class, and if you guys join to my lecture class, so must be keep in touch with a good manner and responsibility. That when the teachers will take the class, we should be most in polite and no sound. That in a soundless place you have to join. Okay. And after finishing my lectures or class, that if you have a question, please let me know. Let me know. If you don't understand my lectures, please let me know friendly and very frankly, because I am so much cordial to my students, and never be hesitated about any questions. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's talk about our course title today, as it is first class. So this is the title that we are going to discuss: wildlife, zoo, pet, and so topics that we got my whole tenure. We learn. It is not learning. It is just sharing our knowledge. It is not education. It is just sharing our knowledge. So education is not that the enforcement will be enrolled. No. My study and my technique is just sharing with the students. Okay. So if you don't know anything, if you don't understand anything, please let me know. If I am capable to deliver the message, to convey the message. So this is the just knowledge we sharing. It is nothing else. So the topics, this is the first one in general wildlife. So here maybe the huge contents we have. And number two, the general biodiversity in the world as well as in Bangladesh also we'll discuss later. And wildlife management is very important topics. Zoos, animals and their management, pet, laboratory and aquatic animals, very important for all of you because you are a veterinarian. And transportation, this is very important topics for wildlife and zoo animals. Certain species and their conservations, and the final one is the preventive measures. So this is the topics, and if you are interested to learn more, and if you are eager to know the more informations, more data, so within these topics, I will deliver the lecture schedule and lecture topics on. So you may search in Google, you may search in YouTube, because now many teaching aids in your hands. Okay, so let's talk the zoo veterinarian officer. As a zoo veterinary officer, that after finishing our courses, that after graduations you will be a doctor. So you have to handle the different types of birds, animals, or anything like this. So as a zoo officer, you will be assigned after the VCS. So if you get a job as a VCS cadet, so you have to perform in the zoo as a veterinarian officer or zoo officer. So as a veterinarian officer, you have to know some technical terms and some conditions. Say I mentioned here that this is the taxonomy of the animals. So later I will discuss about the animals and their behavior, their physiology, their habit, and everything. I will show the later slide. So you have to know the taxonomy of the animals or birds and comparative anatomy. I guess maybe you are well known to these terms. Physiology of the animals, pathology, reproduction is very important, because our target in a zoo is the breeding. So you have to give more emphasis. You have to give more efforts in reproduction terms, and I have a chapter regards to reproduction in the captive breeding. And the later is the nutrition and use of suitable methods for restraining. Restraining is also very important. So here we will discuss in later slide about the restrainings. So this is the second slide, the duties or responsibility of a zoo or vet officer. I mean, it is very important. Number one, the prophylactic work. So what do you mean by prophylactic work? Prophylactic work means, before going to here, I am giving some informations. So during my slides preparations, that presentation, just note everybody, please, because my question pattern is not similar fashion to my lectures. Sometimes I make questions with my lectures schedule or during my lecture delivery that I mentioned. So be careful, everybody. The extra topics or extra discussion that I'm giving right now, please note it down to your notebook, because it is important. And some questions that will be come from out of syllabus. I mean that without any syllabus, no. But I mean that sometimes when I give the lectures and some questions or some parameters or some, some discussions we are doing during our lecture presentations. So that is the part of syllabus. So be careful, everybody. If you have a target to make a good result, and if you have a target to do more better in research, in knowledge, so that's why I am giving emphasis that please, for the students have a good aim to be a good teacher, to be a good researcher, to make a good result. Please note down, please, to my lectures, because sometimes we are talking about the more informations or extra informations in the class. Okay, be careful, everybody. However, the prophylactic work, that means it is the medicinal action. It is the medicinal action to prevent the disease. I mean that before occurrence of the disease, you have to take some necessary actions to prevent that or those types of disease in a zoo. So that is called the prophylactic work. So here you see prophylactic work. Here I didn't give any definitions, but I am discussing, I am just giving the information. So that's why in your class city or in your final exam, maybe question arises, okay, what do you mean by the prophylactic work in a zoo? So here please note all of the informations that we are giving. Okay. So, including the prophylactic words, we have some parameters that we are looking for to prevent the occurrence of disease by careful observations, and you have to maintain the hygienic measures and to maintain the contact veterinarian service. Second one, breeding, rearing, already I mentioned, and some instructions and guidance of the volunteer, gratitude and graduate. Very important. Later we will discuss about this one. So zoo, what is zoo? What do you mean by zoo? This is the definition. Zoo, what is zoo? The Jews, it is the Latin word. I mean that Jew. This is the Latin word, and maybe it launched 1845. 1845. Jew. The term that first used in 1845. I mean that 1845. Okay. So it comes from the Latin word. It means that in a captive or confined area, the animals from different regions, different species must be maintained with captive breeding for the recreation purpose, including the research, educations, and recreations. This is the zoo. So the question may become define the zoo. So it is very simple word, you know, all of guys. So the zoo that may be defined as a confined area where the wild animals or general animals will be confined and captive breeding. Captive breeding is very important. It must be done. Captive breeding. And we have many purposes. We have many purposes in a zoo why you are doing the zoo. So later slide I will discuss about the zoo and zoo's importance. And you know, maybe national zoo. We have a national zoo, right? That is located in Mirpur, Dhaka. I don't know about all of you guys either visited or not. So it was established in 1974, Mirpur. And here we have a land area of 186 acres. That is the hectares is 75 hectares. The number of animals we have in our zoo almost 2,150, and number of species 191. And annually visitors almost 3 lakh, but per day 10,000 people they are visiting our national zoo. So this is very simple information about our zoo. But as a veterinarian or animal husbandarian, you have to visit the national zoo, and you must know what are the sections of our national zoo. So I am giving some information about the national zoo, Bangladesh. So here maybe six sections we have. Number one, carnivore sections. We have carnivore sections. Number two, large animal sections. Number three, small ruminants and reptiles, and then aves or birds like this, and then fisheries, and then finally this is the museum. Finally, that is the museum. Okay. So these are total maybe 6 sections we have in our national zoo at Dhaka. So this is very important. You have to know, and you must know, because we have some field visit to our practical orientations, practical syllabus. So if you have a time and if you have a arrangements, you may go and you may visit the National Zoo, Dhaka. So classification of zoo, that is very important. How you can classify the zoo. So classification the medium, small and mini. If it is less than 20 hectares in land size, it is the mini zoo. And number of animal exhibited, I mean that how many number of animals. It is 150, you may classify a large zoo. Okay. And number of species. So how many species are exhibited there? If it is more than 75, you may category it as it is large zoo. And number endangered species. So now it is time to discuss about the endangered species. So endangered species are those species that are going to be disappeared. So it is called the endangered species. You know, please write here, International Union for Conservation of Nature. So it is a common to see International Union for Conservation of Nature. So in every year they declare the whole of the world, and even though in each country how many species that are going to be disappear soon. So these species of animals categorized as endangered species, and extinct species. Extinct species are those species of animals or birds or any organisms that are already disappeared. So already disappeared species are called extinct species. On the other hand, the species which will be disappeared soon, this is called endangered species. Okay, clarify it carefully. So this is the endangered species. The more than 15 in number, it is large, and you see the here medium, small, and mini. Mini is not concerned about the endangered species, no. A number of endangered species animals, more than 150, 100 to 149, and 50 to 99. Okay, final one is visitors per year. Visitors per year. So it is more than 7.5 lakhs, and in mini it is less than 2 lakh. So you may classify, or you may category our national zoo at Dhaka. I mean that Dhaka National Zoo. Okay, classify it, and maybe questions like that. How you can category the National Zoo of Bangladesh, Dhaka Zoo, under the zoo classifications. Okay, can you? I mean that it is very clear. Just based upon the data, based upon the parameters, you make category of our zoo. Anyway, and the safari park, it is very common term. The safari park, maybe you hear, and maybe I think that maybe you visited already different safari parks. In Bangladesh we have maybe two more safari parks. One is Bangabandhu Safari Park is Gazipur, and another one is Chattogram Safari Park. These two are renowned, and this is very important, and government are giving more emphasis these two sites. So this is safari park. So you have to know the definition of safari park. What do you mean by safari park? So okay. So how you can compare the safari park and zoo? So I just giving some clue. In zoo, animal will be confined in a limited area. Okay, they have some cases. On the other hand, in safari park, the animal will be freely roaming. I mean, they can move freely with a little bit natural habit, natural habituation, natural environment, like this. So here, the range, confined area is so more large. And on the other hand, another issue is that if you go or if you visit the zoo, just animal will be confined in a case, but you are the visitors, okay, out of the case. But in safari park, you will be confined in a case or a bracket, but you will see the animal roaming here, there, they are moving. Okay, so you feel that just opposite in terms of visiting site. Understand? Maybe very easy. And the second one is wildlife sanctuary. So it is the important terms. Maybe later I will take one more class about the terminology related to the zoo, wildlife, lab, pet, and aquatic animal. So wildlife sanctuary. Wildlife sanctuary, this is the one type of how can I say? This is one type of area where the animal will be freely roaming, movement without any disturbance, and they have some protective defense. I mean that, and nobody harm them. And they will live there without any disturbance, just like a natural environment. Nobody disturb them, nobody harm them. Okay, so this is actually it's a natural wildlife they will get, just like in Bangladesh we have no wildlife sanctuary. It's the big country, huge land area, they have some wildlife sanctuary. Here no hunting. I mentioned No hunting, no hunting. But on the other hand, what do you mean by the game reserve? Game reserve. Game reserve is important, you know. If you compare the game reserve and wildlife sanctuary, the main difference is hunting is allowed. Hunting is permitted to the game reserve for sport, you know. Especially it is found in South Africa. Especially it is found in South Africa. Here is a big, huge area where the animal they are getting their habituation in natural format, and actually they perform their natural habit, but hunting is allowed for sports. So this is called game reserve. So I already mentioned that what do you mean by the zoo? What do you mean by the safari park? What do you mean by the wildlife sanctuary and game reserve? So can I ask the question that make the differentiation among the zoo, safari park, wildlife sanctuary, and the final one is the game reserve. So you have to know the basic term, and it is the technical term. So in the exam, it is very important about these four terms I mentioned. Okay, so importance of
একটা কোশ্চেন স্যার, এই স্যাংচুয়ারি কোনো ভিজিটরস থাকবে না, মানে কেউ দেখতে যেতে পারবে না?
হ্যাঁ, that is the allowed. Yeah, that is the allowed, but you have to take the permission of the government authority.
সুন্দরবনের যে স্যার অভয়ারণ্য আছে স্যার, এটা কি স্যার স্যাংচুয়ারির মধ্যে পড়ে কি স্যার?
সেঞ্চুরির মধ্যে হ্যাঁ এক্স্যাক্টলি ইট ইজ পরে, কিন্তু বিষয় হচ্ছে যে ইন বাংলাদেশ কনটেক্সট সাম ইলিগেল পার্সোনালস দে আর ডুইং দ্য ইলিগেল জব। সো এটা ওয়াইল্ড লাইফ সেঞ্চুরির মধ্যে পড়বে, বাট বাংলাদেশের অ্যাসপেক্টে তো হান্টিং হচ্ছে, এটা কিন্তু হবে না। আমরা বিভিন্ন পত্রিকা দেখি, নিউজ পেপারস, ইন অনলাইন রিপোর্টস, জার্নালস আমরা দেখি, কিন্তু আমাদের জন্য এটা ওয়াইল্ড লাইফ সেঞ্চুরি, ইট ইজ ওকে।
স্যার স্যাংচুয়ারি আর সাফারির মধ্যে পার্থক্য কি থাকলো? সাফারিও তো এরকম।
সাফারিতে তো বিষয় হচ্ছে, সাফারিতে তো ভিজিটরস আর অ্যালাউড, visitors are allowed in safari, but here dominantly you are not permitted for recreation purpose, no. But in safari park you have the target for recreation purposes, kintu in safari, in sanctuary you have no permission for recreation purpose. If you go for research, if you go for calculate the number of species for research purpose, then you are allowed. Understand?
Yes sir, বুঝতে পারছি।
Okay, so now it is time to know the importance of zoo. So it is very important why we are going to know about the zoo life, lab, pet and aquatic animal. So first of all, importance of zoo. So four basic and main, I mean that the main importance is number one is recreation. Number one is recreation purpose. Number two, zoo is very important for research. Number three, important for reintroduction. I don't know about you have idea about the reintroduction, or you may say it is breeding, like say breeding. So number one, I mentioned the recreation. Number two, research. Number three, reintroduction or breeding. Okay, I am telling about the reintroduction. Reintroduction is that one. Okay, if you see the animal number is decreasing day by day, and they are going to be enlisted as endangered or threatened species based on the IUCN. Okay, but you have to need this to conserve. Conservation is much needed that time that the species are going to be abolished, going to be disappeared. Okay, so they may be classified as endangered or threatened species, and for that cases you must collect those animals in zoo, and then you must do the captive breeding, and then when the population will be increased, and then you may release those species to their wild nature. This is called reintroduction. Reintroduction, that means after manipulation through breeding program, and then you increase the number of extinct or endangered species, and then when it is available and resources are much enough, okay, to release their natural habitat. This is called reintroduction, okay, or breeding, I say. And fourth one is conservation. Fourth one is conservation. So I mentioned here four importance of zoo. Number one, recreation. Number two, research. Number three, reintroduction or breeding. And the final one is conservation. And yeah, so conservation and preservation, two terms. So you have to know the clarifications of the conservation and preservation. What do you mean by conservation and preservation? So for wildlife diversity, the conservation is vital tools. You know, conservation, that means the species you have right now, but it will be sustained. It will be sustained by increasing the number of populations. Okay, so this is the conservation, and it is related to the breeding. Okay, you have one bird, you have one more birds, you have one species of animal. So now breeding, and then it will be manipulated. So generation after generation, it will be sustained more. So this is the conservation. On the other hand, preservation is that one. You see, okay, you have one species, but you have no chance to breed it again. You have no chance to increase the number of population by breeding, but you have to preserve it for further display. I mean, so you know, we have some surgery and therogenealogy. You know, therogenealogy. You know, they store some parts of the, I mean, that animals, either it can be penis, either it will be urethra, it will be vagina, it will be ovary. Okay, so they preserve it in formalin and other medicine for a long time for demonstration purpose. So that is the preservation. Preservation is not a conservation. Conservation is related to the sustainability. Sustainability. I mean, it will long run with the increasing number of populations day by breeding program. Okay, breeding, either maybe it is AI or natural breeding, does not matter to be considered to this issue, but it will be increased. That is the conservation related to the sustainability. On the other hand, preservation is just for store. You know, mummy, the mummy in Misr. Okay, so it is just preservation. It is not conservation, because it has no power to manipulate. It has no ability to increase the number. So it is very important, conservation and preservation. So maybe questions will come from this issue. What do you mean by preservation and conservation? And if you are interested to know more information, so you may search in Google or other reading tools, teaching tools, no problem. Okay. So here I mentioned about the importance of the use. Preservation already mentioned, increase the number of population rare species, environmental balance and breed. I already, tiger and lion crossing. Tiger and liger. You maybe know about this one. Recreation already mentioned, research already mentioned. Okay, and friendship. We are exchanging some animals, species from one country to another. So it makes a relationship between two countries. So it is a technical tools to make a relationship build up. Okay, and then the countries will be exchanging rare species. So it is also make a one friendship and epidemiological investigation of the disease. Okay. So in some, the zoos, some animals, they are dying due to unknown reason, due to unknown fact. So that's why if we do the research and then we can know the epidemiological investigation of the disease, it is a great job. And the final one, opportunity, employment, and teaching and research already I mentioned. So these are the basic importance, but fundamentally, four importance I mentioned: recreation, research, reintroduction, and final one is conservation. Okay. Classification of animals. So this slide is very important for all of you know. Classification of animals. So if we are going to classify depending upon the structure, food they eat, and reproduction, I mean the breeding style, giving birth or giving ova or giving birth ova. So depending upon the structure, we may classify into vertebrate and invertebrate. And if you may go vertebrates, so here we may include the fish, amphibians, reptiles, and birds. Even though if it is mammals, animals, marsupials, primates, rodents, and also seals and cetaceans, it may be classified depending upon the structure of animals. It is maybe categorized into two categories: vertebrate and invertebrate. Food they eat, omnivores, carnivores, and herbivores. And reproduction depending viviparous and oviparous. You know these terms: what is viviparous and what is oviparous. So these are the main classifications, and in each classifications, in taxonomy, we have different orders and sub-orders. So in later slide, I will give some information about the sub-orders of each taxonomics classifications. And simple statistical data of the vertebrate, mammals, 19 order we have, and total species 5,000 more in the world. I am talking about the world animal geography. And under the vertebra, birds 29 number of orders, and fish 62. So it is very more fish in this. And even you see the total species of these fish almost 34,000, and reptiles 4 order having 10,000 species, and amphibians the lowest order containing species more than 8,500. So this is very simple statistical data about the vertebrate, because this course is mostly belongs to vertebrate. Okay, so that's why I'm just giving this slide for all of you for your kind informations. Okay, so what are the topics and what are the lessons that we have learned already? So if I am going to recap, you see, already we talked about the zoo, importance of zoo, what's the responsibility of a zoo officer or a veterinarian in a zoo, and we learned some common technical terms: the safari park, wildlife sanctuary, and game reserve, like this. And we already known about the classifications, I mean zoo animal classifications. Okay. And about the importance of zoo. Why zoo is important? Already we are known about these zoos related terms, conditions, and importance. So do you have any questions regarding these topics? Any problems or any questions you have? Let me know.
Sir, preservation টা একটু বলবেন স্যার আবার?
Okay, preservation. Oh yes, preservation and conservation I mentioned. Preservation, that means it will not be manipulated in numbers, but it will keep, you may keep it for a long time, treat it with different medicine. You see, I mentioned already here, if you have a visceral organ, or you see, okay, so during the epidemiological study, or investigation, you will get one abnormal. It is in vagina. Abnormalities, unknown abnormalities in uterus. Okay, abnormalities in stomach, but it is never seen yet. Like say, but you have to preserve it for a long time for demonstration purpose, because if you write manuscript or publications, they will looking for searching you. Oh, what's the fault you find? Okay, one species. Okay, it will going to be disappear soon, but you have to preserve it just for demonstration purpose, but not sustainable with the increase in number of animal or any organism. It is just for storage. It is called preservation. Can you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? Because Joe related, mostly we described. So if you have any question, please let me know. Freely, because knowledge is sharing. I mentioned again and again. Knowledge is just sharing. Okay. If I don't know about your question, okay, later I will know. I have to read, I have to search again, and then I will let you know. But if you are keen to interest to know about some topics, about some important parameters, importance, phenomena, you may ask any questions. Okay. So if we have no questions, maybe we have to extend in our next topics. Can I go?
স্যার একটা স্যার কোশ্চেন স্যার স্যার এই যে স্যার আপনার স্লাইডে স্যার র্যাবিটার পর স্যার গিনিয়া পিগ যেটা আছে স্যার, এটা স্যার আমরা অনেক আগে থেকে পড়ি স্যার, কিন্তু এটার ব্যাপারে খুব বিস্তারিত নলেজ নেই স্যার, একটু যদি বলতেন স্যার।
This is my topics. I am just going to start. No. This is my new topics. Already I mentioned about the Joe and Joe's animal, that Joe's common phenomena. So now it is the new content that I am going to be started like this one. So have any question in my previous study? Yes or no?
No sir.
Okay, thank you. So okay, so this is the second content of my today's lectures. So do you have that? Please guys, my students, so do you feel any annoying or any abnormalities or any difficulties about my lectures? It is clear?
Sir.
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay.
Yes sir, all are clear.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So now the topics is, yeah, I know. So laboratory animal. Just animals, first one is rabbit, pig, rat, mice, hamster, and cat, right? So these are the very common laboratory animals. Okay, I'm going to describe the next slide about the laboratory animals, their importance and their classifications, and so many. We have informations. Just we will share with each other. So apart from these animals, that rabbit, guinea pig, rat, mice, hamster, and cat. So can you guys can you tell me that we have more laboratory animals apart from this, or it is limited? Yeah, it's okay, monkey. So tell me anybody more.
Squirrel.
Okay.
Salamander.
Sorry.
Earthworm sir.
Okay, tell me more.
Frog.
Okay, keep going.
ড্রসোফিলা ফ্লাই আছে।
Keep going.
Sand fly, sir.
Okay, keep going.
স্যার গিনি পিগ।
Guinea pig, here you see guinea pig we have already I mentioned. Okay,
স্নেক আছে।
so apart from this we have many laboratory animals. You see in my site, this is you see the baboons, cats, cows, dogs, parrots, fish, frogs, guinea pigs, hamsters, horses, llamas, mice, monkeys, owls, pigs, quail, rabbits, rats, and sheep also. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
जी सर।
So, okay, we are already concerned about some common laboratory animals, but apart from these laboratory animals, we have more laboratory animals. These are mentioned I already here. That's why many questions in your minds, I mean that already grown up. So one or two slides later, maybe you will be more clear about the laboratory animals. Why these animals are laboratory animals? Okay. So what is laboratory animals? Laboratory animals are those animals, the animals that belongs to same physiological and anatomical characteristics, and their organs and organic systems is mostly similar to the human body. So here I mention about the lab animals. So why it is lab animals? Because these animals are used in lab to produce the different medicine, different organ replacement, and different anti-disease agent. That's why it is called laboratory animal, lab animals. So their physiology, their anatomy, and their body mechanism, their organs, their organic functions is mostly the similar fashion to the human body. That's why these lab animals are being used in lab to produce the organ, to produce the vaccine, to produce the medicine, to produce the different items that will be used for human treatment, human welfare. That's why these animals are called the lab animals. Maybe now you are very clear why these animals are called lab animals. Okay. You see here, by using the lab animal I mentioned already, different discoveries, say diphtheria, polio, insulin, and diabetics mellitus, heart valve replacement, antibiotic therapy, and manic depression. You know, manic depression. What is manic depression? Manic depression, that means the mental depression. You know, each and every year some public university and some private university and other students, they are going to be attempt to die. This is mental, that manic depression. Manic depression is called. So the anti-manic action you are getting from lab animals. And even I am mentioning here, as you are going to be graduate as a veterinary or animal husbandry. Every day you have to take eggs and milk, because egg and milks contain some substances that is very helpful to cool your brain and brain development also. So every day you must try to take 1 egg or 2 egg or 3 egg or 4 egg or 5 eggs or 7 eggs or 10 eggs up to 50 number of eggs you. So however maybe from my next classes we will soon be soon. Okay, so sorry for the first time. So can you see my lectures PowerPoint?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we are talking about the lab animals. Already I mentioned which animals are categorized lab animals and why they are called lab animals. So one question more here. So do you know among all the laboratory animals, which animals are being widely used in lab animal? You know? Do you know?
Mouse.
Guinea pig, sir?
Cats and mouse, I think.
Okay.
Mouse.
Okay, very good, very good, very good. This is the mouse, or I mean that mice and mouse and mice and rat. These are widely used in lab animals. And what is the reason behind why among all the lab animals, why they are frequently used and widely used? This is the questions. So I'm giving some information. Why do you know? Can anybody know? No?
ওদের রিপ্রোডাক্টিভ টাইম খুব খুব দ্রুতই বাচ্চা জন্মায়।
I mean life cycle.
জি স্যার, স্মল লাইফ সাইকেল পাশাপাশি অল্প জায়গায় ওদের লাইফ সমস্যা হয় না রিপ্রোডাকশন করতে কনফাইন্ড এরিয়াতে।
Okay, very good. And
Less expensive, sir. Less expensive, sir.
Very good. Okay.
Higher litter size, sir.
Litter size is higher. Okay, very good. And available. They are available. I mean, the genetic resources in Bangladesh as well as in other countries, they are very easy to get, easy to find. So these are the available resource. You may gonna available resource. They are, yes, very good. They are life cycle short, and their life cycle is very short. Okay, and not expensive. It's very good. These are also in exam questions may be like this. Which animals are being used widely in lab animals and why? Mention and clarify it by your own words. Okay, these are the one kind of questions. Technical questions. Okay, thank you. So these are the information that I don't show here, but that may be the question that will come to your class test or final exam. So now this is the topics, the classification of the experiment animal. Classification may be the whole laboratory animals will be classified into 3 categories. Number 1 category is the rodents. Number 2 non-rodents. Number 3 miscellaneous. And among the rodents you see mouse, rat, guinea pig, gabriel, hamster, etc. And non-rodents, rabbit, dog, cat, monkey, pig, etc. And as miscellaneous, we have some example regarding to the lab animal. This is the frog, pigeon, zebra, fish, chicken, etc. So we're having more, but here we have given some examples that are very commonly used. So these are the classifications, very important. The experimental animal or lab animal, we may classify into 3 categories. This is very simple issue. Okay, anyway. So now the rabbit, the rabbit. So do we have rabbit in Bangladesh? Do you know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have rabbit. So this slide, I'm trying to mention about the rabbit bibliography. I mean, whole profile of the rabbit. Here I mentioned, you see, rectal temperature, normal respiratory rate, pulse rate, gestation period, weaning age, and mating age, litter, per yearly, 4 yearly, 4 times per yearly. Rectal room temperature, humidity, and average weight, adult 0.9 to 0.9 to 6.75 kg until here. So this is the information if you are keen to interest about the rabbit profile. And after finishing your graduation, you may do any experiment regard to rabbit or any lab animal. So you have to know about the rabbit, and rabbit whole description about the rabbit is very important for to next. And this is the housing system of rabbit. This is very common system. Here no difficulty you will get. See, cases are used. Cases in case, and young rabbits up to 3 months of age may be housed together, without mixed sex. And 8 to 10 young rabbits may be kept together in a pen similar to the guinea pig like this. So this is very common housing, feeding, what type of feeding they are. Particularly they are habituated to oats feeding, oats and bran. And sometimes you may supply the vegetables or green stuffs, and sufficient amount or abundant amount of clean water you have to be provided for breeding. Very simple, easy. Handling is very important. Restraining, handling. So in case of handling and restraining, you never approach or handling the rabbit or guinea pig with your one hand by touching the scruff. I mean that sometimes we don't know how to approach, how to touch, how to handle the animals, because you have to read the psychology, behavior of specific birds or animals that you are going to approach. So never touch only the scruff with one hand and just hanging. Just hanging. So no. So this is the systematic procedure that first you have to grab the neck, and then with your hands keep it in the below the hind limb of the rabbit or guinea pig. Mostly similar fashion you can approach the rabbit and guinea pig. Okay, so never touch, alone with the air. So first you have to grab the scarf or neck with one hand by wearing the gloves, and then your another hand that will be kept below the forelimb with a simple and soft manner. So this is the handling of rabbit and guinea pig, similar fashion. Anyway, and common disease of rabbit. So rabbit belongs to different types of disease. So maybe you have one more process regards to medicine, zoo and wildlife, pet, lab, cat, etc. Medicine, you have one more courses. So here you will know what type of vaccine, what type of preventive medicine, preventive measures, hygienic measures, everything you will know the information regards to that courses, medicine. So here I mentioned some common disease of rabbits. It is very similar, so you will get it from my lectures. This is the experimental procedure. How you can use the rabbit in your experiment? How? So here I mentioned different procedure, including the anti-sera, anesthesia, scarification, subcutaneous inoculation, intravenous, different types of. So it is very common. You will get this information if you read my lectures, because tonight or tomorrow I will send all my lectures in PDF form, maybe Abu Tahir, maybe you're seer, right? Abu Tahir. Abu
Yes,
Tahir
sir.
here. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So yeah, let me know about your mail. And so how many seer to your respective courses, respective classes semester? One or two?
two, sir.
Another is Samia.
Ji sir.
Samia Jaman.
Okay, so in my WhatsApp, you may send kindly send the Gmail or mail, any mail, and I will give my lecture schedule to all of you. And please, now you are very technical compare others, because they, in our previous life when we were students, no technology not yet, that was not yet developed. But now you can read my lectures to your phone. You may prepare the PPT in your Android phone. You may search everything in your phone, because now it is not expensive so far compared to the previous days that we have passed. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if I send the lectures, okay, you download in your phone and you may read. And I see some of my students here, they never print my lectures. Only just I giving them via mail, and they are just read it through their phone. The big phone, big screen. So it is very easier method nowadays you have. Okay. So please contact with me. Okay. And I will give my informations to your mail, and please disperse this to all of the students. Okay.
Ji
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you. Now this is very important, the applications. So where the rabbit are used, widely used, which experiment, which treatment, and which purposes the rabbit are used in lab animal as a laboratory animals. So here I mentioned different topics, different issues, different fields. We can use the rabbit in terms of pyrogen testing. Pyrogen testing, that means protein detection technique. It is protein detection, different bioassay, screening agent, drugs, and glaucoma. Glaucoma, glaucoma. What is glaucoma? Maybe you know glaucoma. Anyway, and here different applications. So you must know the description of the animal profile, including applications. Housing and feeding is not yet important, but application is very important, because lab animal, you are just reading, you are learning about the lab animal. So application must be, you must know. So please note it down. Application and general biology. I mean the gestation period, life cycle, litter size, normal weight, mature, weaning, etc. with the application. So every laboratory animal like this. Now it is the guinea pig. So same phenomena you have to know. You have to know about the description of the guinea pig. It is not necessary to know the handling, housing, and feeding, but you have to know the general description. You have to know the applications. You have to know general applications and general bibliography of rabbit and guinea pig. Understand? Okay. So I'm going first. Feeding, etc. Same animal, different strain. We have different strain. So I think you know already. You are in which semester now? Level 3 or level 2?
Sir, level 4, semester 2.
Oh, very good. Well mature. So you already, that you are already well known about the species, and then breed, varieties, strain, So here, a different strain of guinea pig. So it is not necessary, but if you are keen to interest to read, you may learn from here. Okay, handling, I mentioned already. Common disease of guinea pig, same phenomena, and this is the experimental procedure and application. Application is very important. In which treatment, in which experiment we are using the lab animals, so you must know the applications. As I mentioned, for the rabbit, guinea pig and rabbit is same phenomena. You have to know the normal biology with the application of the rabbit and guinea pig. Okay, understand? Very good. Rat, same. So I am going to close the class quickly because it is long time already. We started 3, now it is almost 5. So 2 hours more. I don't know about your schedule and other teacher that lecture theater. I don't know. So that's why as it is first class, I am going to first close and feeding, strain, handling, experimental procedure lab, and this is the application must. Okay, and mouse also, housing, feeding, and the final one is experimental procedure and application. Can you understand? So before going to end my lectures, I'm gonna sharing about how you can detect the male and female laboratory animals. So this sheet that I will never supply, but it is the extra curriculum and extra informations I am giving. So let's talk that. Already we learned about the definition of laboratory animals and commonly used laboratory animals and whole experiment, I mean that laboratory animal list and importance of laboratory animals and some biology, some feeding, handling, approaching, housing of common laboratory animals that I tried to show you to my slides. So here I mentioned about the guinea pig, here I mentioned about the rabbit, mouse, okay, and rat. So again I am going to mention that you have to know, that means you must know about the general bibliography or general profile, including the application of each laboratory animals that I mentioned to my slides. Okay, finish. So now tell me, we are now going to close to my lectures. So let me know, or let me tell please, how you can detect the sex of laboratory animal just after giving birth. Very important. It is called sexing. It is called sexing. You know, most of the laboratory animals, after birth, you never identify by see their genital organ. I mean that vagina or the scrotum, because scrotum mostly developed in their cavity, abdominal cavity, and when it will be matured, and later you will see that when it will become matured, and then like a pendulous structure will be just dropped, like this, little bit dropped, little bit just hanging below the external genital. So how, my question is there, please write down the question, how you can sexing, I mean that sexing, how you can sexing the laboratory animals just after giving birth. Okay, I am giving some clue. First of all, guinea pig and rabbit. Guinea pig and rabbit, in case of guinea pig and rabbit, their anus from anus to genital organ, the distance, in case of male, it will be more spacious. But in case of female, it will be more closer. Anus to genital organ. Anus to genital organ. Very close. So a furrow, that is the short furrow, will be present in female one, but on the other hand, in case of male, anus to genital organ will be more furrow, more gap, just. But how you will see? How you will see? You have no option to see that. But you have to, you have to press the hind quarter with your hand. Just press the lower region, lower limb, hind limb, and then you will see that will be more pendulous, and you will see the distance between the anus to genital organ. So you hear this way, this procedure. And male anus, in case of male, the anus will be round. But in case of female, that will be slit. That will be pointed. That will be pointed. Okay, so I am just describing the sexing of live animals. Okay, so I mentioned two procedure that by observing or by following the techniques you can identify easily either it is male or female, because if you do experiment you must separate the male and female one, so it is important. So first one I mentioned already, one is gap, genital organ to anus, one is short, one is long, and another is the anus orientation will be round for male, and for female it will be pointed. Okay, so what will be happen for rodents? I mean then rat, mouse, etc. How you approach the rats or mouse? First you have to just touch the tail. With one hand you just grab the tail, and then you have to grab the head, just like. You never touch only the head and just scratching. No, in a surface, normal surface and plate surface, and then you touch first the tail and then grab with another hand to the neck, and then you approach the rats and mouse easily. So how you detect the rat and mouse, either male or female? That is the one phenomena that I mentioned, anus to genital organ, anus to genital organ. So here I mentioned in case of guinea pig and rabbit that anus to genital organ, the gap will be larger, the gap will be shorter. So this is the main phenomena for the mouse and rat. But they are anus round or pointed, no one. It will be not applicable for the rodents, mouse or rat. The anus size shape that will be only entitled with the rabbits and guinea pig. But here you see the distance between the anus and the genital organ. So here you can detect the male and female for your further experiment if you do the research regards to the lab animals. And I think all of students how you can detect the Deol chick. How you can? Anybody can tell me please how you can detect the male and female birds just after hatch one day? Can anybody tell me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me please.
স্যার ওইটা একদিনের বাচ্চা কিংবা 2 দিনের বাচ্চা যখন আমরা ওই যে জেনিটাল অর্গানে যখন আমরা পুশ করি, মানে একটু চাপ দিই, তখন স্যার থ্রেড লাইট স্ট্রাকচার সুতার মতো কোন একটা কিছু, এটা হচ্ছে মেল, যেটা হাঁসের বাচ্চা চেকিং এর ক্ষেত্রে ব্যবহার করে। আর যদি এটা না বের হয় তাহলে ওইটা হচ্ছে ফিমেল।
Okay. Anybody move? Anybody? Share, just share. Anybody know? different sexing methods we have, just like say, hand sexing, right? We have hand sexing, and we have feather sexing. We have sexing by visual expressions. So which method is easy to detect the day old chick easily?
স্যার মেলটা স্যার কি একটু বিগার হবে স্যার রেদার দেন স্যার ফিমেল?
Sorry,
স্যার মেলটা কি স্যার একটু স্যার বড় হবে স্যার ফিমেলের চাইতে স্যার রিওল চিকটা স্যার?
yeah, day old chick, it is very difficult to identify that the male is larger compared to the female one. No.
স্যার
The most
আইডেন্টিফাই করা যায়?
sorry.
উইংস
Exactly. This is wing.
দুইটা মানে ফিমেলের হচ্ছে দুইটা কাটবে আর মেলে একটা কাটবে
Yes.
মানে একটা ভাগ।
Exactly. Very easy method. Hand section is easy for the technical person who are just working every day with the chick business. Okay. Who are take care the hatching sectors, operations of hatching activities, procedure. They are very keen and very sharp to identify the male and female because they have a lot of experiences, right? So as a new or fresher one, feather section is very easy because in case of male, why I am telling this one, it is not a chapter to me. But as I mentioned about the sexing of the lavender animals, so I am just recap for you guys that in case of the male bird, okay, you will get you will observe the all of the feathers is similar size and similar fashion, same fashions. I mean that similar size, chick male. On the other hand, the female chick, the feather will not be equal in size. You see, feather number 1, feather number 2. Okay, feather 1 is large in size, feather 2 is small, and feather 3 again is small, and feather 4 again large. So these similarities in size you will get. It is very easy to identify the feather sexing. If you are going to do an experiment or if you are going to sexing the devil chick, you can easily identify by feather sexing. Feather sexing is very easy. So all feather will be equal in size. That is the male bird. On the other hand, if the feather is not equal in size, that will be the female one. Very easy, interesting. Anyway, so as it is my first class, so maybe I took already more time, 2 hours, because sometimes we some wastage of time due to default of the technical problems as it is first. I don't know exactly why it disconnected. I don't know, but just now I am looking for to solve this problem to my next classes. Anyway, so I see maybe 55 number of students, they are just now participating to my classes. So rest of them, where can you clarify Abu Tahir and Samia?
Excuse me, sir.
Okay.
Sir, ID 65 and ID 67, we are taking class through the same device, sir. We are roommate actually. We have some kind of Wi-Fi problems, sir. Wi-Fi is not so good, so that we are taking from the same device, sir.
Okay. So now okay, tell me please. Okay.
স্যার আজকে হচ্ছে আমাদের ওই ক্যাম্পাসে একটা প্রোগ্রাম আছে আর কি স্যার, মানে অনেক শীত বরণ হিসাবে অনেকদিন আমাদের ক্যাম্পাসে বেসিক্যালি প্রোগ্রাম কম হয়, সেক্ষেত্রে আজকে অনেকদিন পর একটা প্রোগ্রাম হচ্ছে, আর একে তো ফ্রাইডে, এই জন্য হচ্ছে আজকে একটু কম স্যার। এই যদি আরো বেশি থাকে উপস্থিতি আর কি, মোটামুটি সবাই আমাদের ক্লাসে মনোযোগী আছে এবং সবাই থাকে।
Okay, Samia, can you hear me?
Ji sir.
Okay, tell me to others right now. I'm giving this. So Firstly, as it is the online class, right?
জি
So,
স্যার
face-to-face class is very more effective, we know, because we are taking face-to-face class, offline class. So as it is the online class, some guys, they are trying to avoid, they are trying to not participate, or just like they ignore. Oh, it is online class like this. But you have no options right now.
জি স্যার
So my notice is there. Please convey the message to other guys who already missed the class, who are not joining yet. Tell me them. Please connect with me and connect this class, because if you have no informations, if you have no data regards to your attendance, so how many marks assigned for your attendance? 10?
জি স্যার 10 মার্কস
10 marks. So I don't know, how can I take your attendance today?
স্যার আপনাকে স্যার আমরা গ্রুপে মনে হয় স্যার একটা অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স শিট দিয়েছিলাম স্যার
Exactly, yes.
স্যার ওইটা
Yeah,
যদি
I got it.
হ্যাঁ স্যার আপনি যদি চান স্যার রোল কলও করতে পারেন স্যার
ওটা দেখে দেখে
হ্যাঁ স্যার আমাদের অন্যান্য স্যাররা স্যার এইভাবেই অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সটা কাউন্ট করে স্যার
Okay, so now 58. Okay. I'm weak. Okay, I'm just near about to close. So if you have question more, please tell me. Tell me, please.
Sir,
Can you hear everybody? Yeah. Can you hear everybody? Okay. Have any question, please? And just I am now going to roll call. So please have any question, and then we will go for attendance. Okay. Have any question, please?
স্যার একটা শুধু কোশ্চেন স্যার, ওই যে র্যাবিটের ওখানে স্যার আপনি প্র্যাকটিসে স্যার অ্যান্টি সেরা পড়াচ্ছিলেন স্যার, এই জিনিসটা স্যার আসলে কি স্যার সম্বন্ধে কোনো আইডিয়া নেই স্যার।
Anti-Sera, that is means তোমার হচ্ছে যে it is related to the সিরাম যখন আমরা ডিটেক্ট করব, ওই সিরামের ক্ষেত্রে এই জিনিসটা ইউজ করার মাধ্যমে আমরা বিভিন্ন রোগের ডিটেক্টের প্রাইমার ডেভেলপ করতে পারি। ওইটাই হলো অ্যান্টিসেরাম বুঝিয়েছে, বুঝতে পারছো?
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
Tell me a question more, please. Have any question? One more?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to roll call, please. Okay. Muhammad Alawul Haq.
Yes, sir.
So can you hear me?
ইয়েস স্যার
জি স্যার আমি আছি
Okay. Okay.
Sir, just 1 minute remaining.
Okay.
স্যার লেফট সাইডে স্যার আমাদের আইডি আছে স্যার, আইডি 18SVM001, এগুলো হচ্ছে স্যার আইডি, তারপর 2 3 আর তারপর হচ্ছে নেম আছে।
So how can I give?
as you wish, sir.
How can I give? So it is possible to give the attendance from here. Is it okay? I don't know the procedure. I don't know the methods. So can you suggest me how can I do that?
স্যার আজকের মতো স্যার আমরা স্ক্রিনশট নিয়ে রাখলাম আর কি স্যার, স্ক্রিনশটটা আপনাকে প্রোভাইড করলাম, তাহলে কি কি অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স আছে ওটা আপনি দেখতে পারলেন। আর স্যার সামনের দিন যদি আপনি কাইন্ডলি যে সফট কপিটা দিছি ওটা যদি একটু প্রিন্ট করে রাখতেন, তাহলে হচ্ছে ওইখানে আইডি গুলা সুন্দরভাবে ইয়ে হতো।
এটা তো তোমার আইডি নেই, here no ID, only that name I found.
স্যার আইডি 1 2 3 মানে ওইভাবে সিরিয়াল ওয়াইজ দেয়া